Hello, everybody. Oh, good evening. Hope you all had a very pleasant and a happy Monday, whether you're at work or at home, and that things would have started out very well for you for the day, and culminating now, you're relaxing about to hear what Auntie D has to say about the topic that she has posted farm life. Has anybody ever experienced farm life? What do you understand by farm life? Farm. As you hear the word farm, thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for joining the live. As you join, you can say something. You can thumbs up. It doesn't cost you to do a thumbs up, right? We are happy to have everybody coming on. I just started, and I'm hoping that we'll have a nice little group on because I know the daylight saving time persons are really in a rush to get things done. I myself too is catching up on me because I'm trying to see if I can get things organized, right? To meet the hours. It's really catching, guys. Really, really catching. But we can't give up because it's already there for us. We have to follow. We have a deadline to meet. We have time when we have to reach work at a certain time. Therefore, we can't be in bed too late or too relaxed. So that's one thing too. I will not try to have anybody on the live late because everybody have to respect their going to bed hours, right? And I don't want person to say, "Oh, she's coming on too late." You know, I really plan to come on 7:30, and I tried, and here I am, still at 2 minutes past 8, just checking in. So I have to be thankful for anyone who should come and join the live. And when you join the live, don't be afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. Hi, Misty Roo. Hi, welcome to the live. Happy to have you. Can you say how much where you're from? Well, do you want to say something? I'm happy to have you. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome, Lauren Nielsen. Can you say hi to Aidan? Hi, Aidan. Crystal. Okay, I don't know who is Aidan. But hi, Aidan. Lauren Nielsen, thanks. Oh, you're from New York. Okay, that's beautiful. That's where I'm at too. So I hope you had a pleasant day, everybody. All those who are coming on to join, remember to touch your thumbs button. Don't be afraid. And I look at this topic. I've been looking at some topics. I don't like topics that are so way out. I like topics that persons can relate to. Right? I will go and do the research and the checking out. So when we share and then try to choose topics that is interesting, well, our topic is on farm life. Now, I grew up with not on a farm, but within your family you have farms, right? Oh, hi, Krista. Hello from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Happy to have you, Krista Lime Dawn Day Chief. Happy Crystal Chief. Okay, it's beautiful to have you on. I do hope you like the live, and I do hope you get some time to look at the channel, Auntie DTV, and look at some videos we have been doing live. And you check it out, man. I think, and I would like for you to like the live too, and I'd like for you to subscribe to the channel and share to your friends and family, whoever, so they can see that what we are doing here. Surrogate. I don't know what you're talking about, GTG and so. Anyway, so let me get back into things before you guys fall asleep on me. Okay, so growing up on a farm, it means that your parents would not readily go to buy everything, but at the same time, they cannot produce everything. Oh, got to go. Okay, I understand, Mr. Rowe. You got to go. See you around another time. Happy to have you that you checked in. Okay, so so you find that because you have children. Bye, Misty. Enjoy the evening. I hope you come again. Okay. So you find that when you have a family that has a lot of children, I'm not talking about one or two, you have, and they, you don't want your children to complain about being hungry, because in those days you couldn't be going to the shops to buy everything. So you have to plant some things like your coconut, sour sop, you name, mango tree, breadfruit, every single thing you can think of. And even some families would go and have pigs, raise pigs or goats or cows, right? But at least you have to have the ground provision that you plant. And nearly every home property has a breadfruit tree. Hi, hello, hello. How are you doing, Ediona and Black Figure? Hello, happy to have you. I hope you look at the topic so you can participate, okay? So you find that persons now would not be hungry. So if on my farm I have a lot of things and you may not have sugar cane, but you may have some star apples or some apple trees. So we would go to each other and change. I know what happened to parents. I don't know what that is for. I don't know. That's a Crystal. I think you should give me some. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah. It teaches value of you. I had it done, but I'm happy that you made that point. Of course, it does, and you know what it does? It keeps the family together. It's healthy food, yes. And it's, I like farm. I love farming communities, and it teaches the value of family. It teaches because whatever is there, the family shares. And if the family has too much, families also take things to the market to sell, because everything will not be in a particular community, because the soil types and so does not allow for everything to be there. For example, when onion and scallion can be in large abundance in your community, maybe in my community, maybe sugarcane and breadfruit. Right. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. So it helps. And you know what happened? I love agriculture. The older I get, I realize the importance. Maybe because I grew up with that around me. Because when you have farming, you're living on a farm, you're never yet hungry. You have chickens that they have in coops. So if the family can go and they don't even have to buy chicken in the store, they use their own. Some raise goats, they raise pigs. And what they do, when special occasions, they use one of the animals. They may sell the big cow that weighs so much, and they use it to maybe repair the house, do things to send the children to college. They do all of that because you have different types of farming. It's not just only to plant things. But farm life, I think, is very, very interesting, I believe. And like you said, Crystal, it helps. It helps to keep the family values together. It keeps it. It binds it. So the money that the parents would go and spend to buy some little bit of cheap products, they are able to have it in abundance. They are able to sell to other people that go to the market and sell. They are able to use that as a form of employment. So when you go into some communities, you see acres and acres of banana trees, plantain trees, mango trees, breadfruit trees, sweet sap, mezberry, you name it. You have your eyes looking as far as it can go. And people from the town areas, the urban areas, would come in, the market vendors, and buy on the location and take it back to the market. And then what they do, they have to sell it at a higher price. But because they go into the field to purchase it. Hi, Luz. Happy to have you, Luz. Happy to have you. Good evening. Happy to have you on. As you see the topic we are talking about, yes, Luz, you're welcome to come anytime and every time. Right? Right. So it helps. And it helps us to not only rely on things in the stores because it is already there. But what I'm looking at is how much of an income that can be generated just by the, if you look at Florida now, Florida, Normal, and California, they produce so many fruits. Acres and acres and acres. They employ persons from other countries on contracts, and they just cabbage, lettuce, all different types of lettuce. There's so much. But what I do like also to touch on, how much that there are stories. Yeah, it's true. Hi, Jolapa. What a name. Do you have a class rating? I don't know. What do you mean class? Oh, chess. Chess rating. We're not doing chess now. We're talking about farming, farm life, right? Julapan, why you come with chess now and we're not talking about games? Look back at the title, right? So when we look at that, it allows persons who working on the farm, while they are working, when they have work days, somebody will come and cook a lot of food and they give stories. I don't, Jula Pan, you just came on and asked a question, so I have to know what you're talking about. I couldn't just answer you like that. I couldn't just answer you. I was in the middle of a discussion talking about farming life, farm life. And you come and tell me if I have a chess rating. How does chess rating and farm life go together right now, Julapan? Julapan, were you sleeping? Julapan, were you sleeping? Jula, were you sleeping? Did somebody wake you suddenly to come and watch Auntie D? Okay, I'll continue. Right. So as I was saying, you give stories because while the workers are on the farm, they need to feel, even though the work is hard, because they're out there in the sun. That's what I'm about to tell you. I have lived on one, and I'm about to give you the stories, right? Give you a story. So when the workers come, it's not like persons would take an hour and go to where the food is being served. They take the hour to eat, and maybe half an hour to eat, and go and release their bodies. But the food is prepared right on the spot, right on the spot. And it's always the food that is like yam and banana, or maybe a little rice. But they don't really prepare rice on the farm, right? And they try to feed them because these farmers, those persons who work on the farm, they work long hours because the more they work, the longer the hour is, the more money they will take home at the end of the week. Some will come and do days, work for the day, and some come work for the week. So we as children now have to go to the farm with the people, and that is why you have farm work being done during holidays or on the weekends. So the family would go with some big pots, and cook a lot of things, especially food that is easy to cook, like saltfish and salt mackerel, or maybe curry chicken, right? So you prepare the meal with a lot of lemon juice because you have to have a lot of ice and water. And the persons would eat for lunch and then they go back and work until when it's almost dark. Then they say, yes, they have done a day and they leave. Sometimes they have to come and put sticks into the yams and wind it on the bamboo and let it go right up because you cannot plant it. Sometimes they have to come and reap. Sometimes they have to come and make a mulching to put at the plant root. So as a child growing up, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I quarreled. I didn't want to go because I feel that it was too hard. Too hard. But as I get older, I realize the importance of doing it because it allows you to save. And if you don't improve in the farming, if you don't spend money to upgrade your farm, you are not going to make a profit. So you're going to will not have the money to pay the persons that are going to work. So, but the best time that I like to go to the farm when mango is in season. Mango or apples, any fruit. So therefore you will not have a time to be say, oh, it's not, or if there's sugar cane. So you find that as us as children would be there when you cut all 5, 6 cane, each person have one. And when it's mango, everybody pick up a lot of mangoes. So you don't really miss the food. But sometimes you eat too much mango or eat too much of the fruit and you end up with running belly. Running belly. meaning that you're having diarrhea because you eat too much. So when you go home, yeah, mangoes are nice. When you go home, no, your mother has to give you something to stop it. Serious running belly, because I'm young, I would look for the mango that looks so sweet, but it doesn't mean that it is sweet. I would eat everything. I would eat everything. So, and the mango juice is so nice. But eating too much sweet fruits can breed some amount of dizziness. And it can also give you oh my God, I forget the term. So by know that I'm older, when I got older, still getting older, I learned that one should not eat more than one or two mangoes for the day. When I growing up, I have 2 dozen in a bucket. I wash them and put them in a bucket and sit under a cool shady tree. I would enjoy all my mangoes. Then I go and wash my hands and clean up myself and drink a lot of water and go and lie down under some tree where I have shade and fall asleep. That is why when persons eat a lot after lunch, they tend to want to sleep. They don't want to do any more work. Right? So growing up, a farm life is interesting. Some people have fishery. I've never experienced a fishery. Some have chickens, just pure chickens. Some have pure pigs, or pure goats, or pure sheep, or pure cows. Some have farm products alongside those things. But I love the mangoes. I love the mangoes, man. Mangoes nice. Guys, when you go to the store to shop, look for some nice mangoes. And some people plant a lot of pineapple. The pineapple, why I like the pineapple, once you're in the area where it is planted, the fragrance of the pineapple fills the whole place and gives it a nice aroma. I forgot where there's a lot of scallion being planted like down in St. Elizabeth or in St. Anne or Portland, place where they have scallion and onion and thyme. When you go on the property, the aroma from those plants just meet you. And you just have to come like, inhale it. It's like you're eating it. It's like you're tasting it. Right? It is so nice. I would like for you guys to visit a farm that has a lot of fruit. And here, I've never gone to a cherry farm. I was invited last in October to go up north to where they had the apple farm, but it started getting cold early. And then I said, no, I will go this year. So before the fall, I want to go up north to where they have the apples. You can go on the apple farm, buy apples and eat apples. Right? I heard that it's all different types of apples are there, and I heard that it's very interesting. So what I'm trying to say is when you learn from an early age, some of us branch into that area of study because you can go to university, and study agricultural science, anything that is relating to farming, right? And yeah, but Crystal, no, you're talking my language, Crystal. You're talking my language. I like your response because you know that pineapples are very expensive. And what you have to do, whatever you plant, you have something set to keep away rats. Pineapples are expensive. You see, the thing is, what my type of farming, I would not want to be the one to go to the market to sell. I prefer to plant and others come and buy it wholesale and go and sell it. It is difficult for you to plant the garden, then go to the market and sell it. And you have some people, honestly speaking, when they come to buy, they don't seem to think. They will ask did you plant it? You say yes. They want to give it to them free, cheap. If the thing weighs, say, 5.5 pounds, if you have to give everybody half pound, what is going to happen at the end of the day? I'm not saying that if you have a little change to make up the money, you won't say, well, all right, keep back the $20 then. But remember, you have to buy fertilizer, you have to pay workers, you have to plow the land, you have to buy seeds, you have to treat the plant and treat the soil. So if you're not careful, sometimes you take the loan from the bank to do what you're doing, and it doesn't work out. Because when you go to sell, everybody wants the thing free or cheap. The other day I was listening just weekend where there was a glut in tomatoes in a parish in Jamaica because since Hurricane Beryl, the easiest crops are those that are ready within 3 months. And they did plant those things because they need to have an income. And now there's a glut, there's no market because just going into the market in the community is not enough. There has to be a market to take it, to sell, to export it. That's the kind of market I like. So persons come and buy from you and take it to where they're going to export it. And then some can buy and go into the local market and sell. But just selling in the local market will not help much to improve an economy or improve a person's standard of living. Because you have to get advice from agricultural department. You have to buy things, you have to buy seeds because it's not everything you can just go and sow the tomato or sow the sweet pepper. They may not come, so you have to buy seedlings. Crystal would like to, I would love for her to tell me one day that she planted the pineapples. She has to go and get the seedlings and then they will tell her how to plant them. And then from the seedlings that she plant now, she may be able to get some more suckers. That's when she go to buy some more seedlings now, she would already have some from the suckers that she plants. Right? I think, yeah, that's nice. It's fun. When you go and look at the things being blossom, you look at them and you touch them and you smile. And when it's getting fit, you look at it, you're so pleased. And you watch it grow to perfection. And then you say, yes, this is my handiwork. I planted this. And it God help it to come. And it came to perfection. And everybody had a piece of it. Pineapples are expensive, Crystal. But I love pineapples. Pineapples are expensive, but it's good. And I'm happy that your roommate is encouraging you. She's doing a wise thing. I went to Canada once. That's in British Columbia. That was in 1990 rather. Princeton in particular. Princeton in British Columbia. And it's nice, man. I don't know anything about Calgary. I don't know if Calgary is a cold place, but whatever it is, some type of farming has to be done because I can tell you it's beneficial. It is beneficial, right? So there are many stories growing up on a farm, in a family. It helps you to know when things are just like a person who grows up. My father was also a fisherman. So, but you know that I never go to sea to catch fish, because I'm a child. So when he goes with the other adults and they come with a boat full filled with fish, a lot of fish, they sell to the people by the seaside, and persons will take some and go into faraway communities and sell it. Right? Because persons who live very far from the sea, they don't readily have access to getting fish when they come into the market or into the town area to get fish. But when they come at the time, there's no fish. So persons have to. And you see, there are persons who, when you go to pick your fruit, you have to be patient. Sometimes the fruits that you're picking, it needs more than one person because while you're picking with your hand, you have to have a container to catch it so they don't get damaged. My father he catch all type of fish. That's why I learned fish name. Mullet, snapper, sprat, herring, barracuda, jack. The other fish they call it jack. I don't know all of the names. A variety. And they would go out for long hours. Like they would leave home, like maybe it's a big boat, so they would go out maybe say 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m., and they would come back. Maybe they'll come the next day in the afternoon, like about 3, 4 o'clock. But sometimes they go and come back and they don't catch anything. They come back and say there was rough sea. So once the sea is rough, the fish they go elsewhere. Fish don't like to stay in rough sea. The only fish that stay in rough sea is the shark, because the shark can suddenly make the sea get rough by diving and doing all manner of things. And when the sharks are crazy doing that, the fishes they go somewhere else. Because the fishes like to be in calm and quiet water. That's why when you go to fish to catch fish, you can't make too much noise. You have to be quiet. They don't like too much noise around. Right? So I said, the thought came to me. I went to the store yesterday, and I had my mind on buying some red snapper. And believe you me, I went late and I reached there before 12 o'clock. Everybody likes red snapper. So everybody, all of those fish were finished. The only fish that was left was porgy. I like porgy too, but I was not in the mood for porgy. But then there was nothing else left, so I had to take 2 packs of porgy. Porgy fish is fat and nice, but red snapper is nicer. It's nicer. But sometimes you have to take what you can get, else you won't get none at all. So I'm hoping when I go another day, I'll be able to get some red snapper. All right. And it also, a farm life allows you to respect nature because what you are planting and the nature helps it to come to perfection. So you have to, for nature, you have to realize on the wind, because the wind helps it, the rain and the sunshine. Right? I have never yet taken a fish off the hook, my dear, because it is it is scary. The fish can bite you, your finger can get itched in its mouth, and although it has I watch those guys when they're taking out the hook, how they have to squeeze the fish eyes, squeeze the eyes, and use their pliers to take it out. I'm not so brave. Believe you me, I've been to the grill, and while we are swimming, well, I can't swim well, but while we're in the water, and it's calm like, you can see some little fish come close, come close to you. But as they make a little rush in the water, they go far off. Namben, I've not seen you in a while, Namben. Welcome to the live, Namben. How are you doing? Happy to have you. How are you doing? How was your Thursday? Did you have a nice day? Are you looking forward to having a nice night? Going to bed early? Waking up early? Today was crazy because, daylight saving time is back. And personally, okay, you say yeah. Personally, I prefer the other time. I don't like this saving time. It makes me have to be just going too fast and it makes you get tired. But we have to work with it. It's there for us to work with. Yes, so it is so nice. It is so nice. We're talking about farm life. It brings you to nature. And once it brings you to nature, you have to respect nature now because what? You have planted something, things in the soil. You cannot take your eyes to make sure that they come to perfection. Nature has to bring it to perfection. Bring it from the level of where you put it in the soil until it grows to perfection where you can reap. So you see how nature plays a very important role in our life. And especially in a farm, a person who is in a farm life, having that experience, they love the nature. They love the weather when there are times when we don't want any rain, we want to go about our business. But the rain helps the plant to grow. Just like we need the water to drink. If there's no rain, we are going, the rivers are going to be lower and the sea is going to be lower just the same. So we need the water. The plants need the water. When we drink the water, you see how we look fresh and nice. We need the water, pure water to drink. We need the water to make drinks, to make medicine, whatever, very different things, right? To cook, to wash, to bathe, to do a lot of things. The plants need it. They don't cook and wash and bathe. But you see, when the rain falls and are you water the plants then? Believe me, you would. Because you're walking, and even, even if it is a flower garden, let me not be so just onto fruits and vegetables. Even if it's a flower garden, as long as it has to do with nature, it's a farm. Because some persons farm flowers, beautiful flowers, right? So when you water the plants and the rain come and water them as well, you realize all those plants look so lush and nice, and they will bear so much produce so much. Just like us, If our body doesn't get the water, our system cannot function. We become constipated, we cannot perspire, and our blood is made up of 71% so much percent water. So you see, the body needs the water, the plants need the water. We breathe, the plants breathe. We can't live without the plants. Animals and plants have to interact. They don't have to be close like the lion and the tiger because I would not go beside the lion and the tiger. But what happens? They don't work, they only feed and prey on other animals. I learned because Jalapan, Jalapan, I grew up with my father being a fisherman and my mother was a housewife. I've never seen my mother work. She stayed home with us. And we go to the farm more time. And sometimes you see sour sop, a sweet sop, once it is ready, and if you're not there to pick it when it's to be about before it falls from the tree, you can stay at a great distance and smell it. So you know it is ready. You know it's ready. And you see, depending on how we get the rain, you know that the things are going to come quickly into perfection. Breadfruit, the cane, the yam, the banana, the cocoa, the dasheen, the flowers, the mango, you name it, cherries, everything, berries, all different things. So that is why I encourage persons to walk that route because what? You can become self sufficient and you can go to university and choose a career that lines up in dealing with nature and plants or nature and farming. Let me say farming. So the farm life you grow up in helps you to that is so true, Crystal. You are so perfect. You have a wonderful friend, a wonderful roommate. And then when you have your family now, you can pass on those knowledge. Or maybe later on you're going to develop a business in dealing with selling flowers. You may have we have people come in and order flowers for different occasion. You have a flower shop to sell flowers. There are many ways, a person can start from before they reach the level that they want to reach. You're a cool girl, Jilapan. You have a wonderful friend. And once you have the vision, gradually you may start with a few potted plants. And depending on the orders and how you move with it, you have the plants somewhere else. You pot them up and set them up and try. Have orchids too. Orchids are beautiful. And people love orchids. I don't know in Calgary because orchids can stay very long. But, and orchids are more like, I think, more indoor plants. And it doesn't take too much, I think. Back in Jamaica, it doesn't take too much to care for orchids. But it's expensive. $10,000 for just a small pot. So you find that orchids are in most business places, banks, and offices, and there's such a wide variety of orchids. But what I'm trying to say is, it being growing on a farm helps you to become self-sufficient, helps you to become a kind person. Oh, sure. And may I say to you, Julian, that I have never played chess. I've never played chess. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to play chess. Spend some time to learn how to play. I always play some. One of my favorite games growing up was Snake and Ladders. I usually love Snakes and Ladders. Have you ever played that game? And Chinese checkers, Ludo, card games. Some of those kind of games. And Chinese checkers were so interesting. But why I like the Snake and Ladders was when you reach where the ladder is, you just slope up the ladder. And then when you reach the snake, nobody wants to reach a snake mouth. There's a particular snake near that when you're close to 100, if your dice drop you there, You have to go back down to almost the end of the board. The snake would eat you, so you go to the end of it and have to start again. And you have to start the game with getting six on the die. I used to love those games, but I don't see nobody play. Those are old time games. They don't bother with those games. They do more technological, digital games. And sometimes you have to study the Chinese checkers, the checkers there. So you have to study it, because it's right before your eyes, you're not even see the move until somebody make the move. Yeah, yes. I'm happy to have you, Crystal. I do hope you subscribe and come another time. And please, if you subscribe, put on the notification bell and put it on all. So whenever I go live, you will know. Right? I'm happy that you had time to stop by this evening. I appreciate your time too. I really appreciate it. All right. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Okay. So this was a good discussion, guys. I really enjoyed it because I like farming. I like if I had the space, if I was back home, maybe I would be into big farming. But you know, when you don't have the help to do that, and you have to pay to get all of that done, you can end up in some serious problem because even if you borrow the money from the bank to do invest into a business of that nature, you have some persons who like to go about. They don't wait to do it in the night. They will go and steal. So you may plant 100 what you say now, root of bananas and 100 root of plantains and some fruit trees and so forth, and plant some yams and all of those things, and buy some animals and put in maybe some pigs or some goats and cows and spread out the farm and make it be a big farm. You have persons who would go to people's property, and because some farms can be very big, because if you're going to have ground produce and fruits that grows on above the ground and animals, you have to have a wide space. They like to go and borrow your things without your permission. So when you miss them now, you realize that somebody has been reaping, and they don't care where you get the money from to pay back the bank. So you're going to become bankrupt. So somebody see you now with a large property with about 20 cows. Somebody's going to find a way to go there and take away the cows and one, and sell, which is not right. Or you plant some sweet peppers and tomatoes and those things. Somebody's going to find a way to go there to reap and to take the things to market. And persons will buy them. Because when they do things like that, right, they sell it cheaper than the person who actually could have bought them to go and sell in the market. So borrowing the money from the bank to set up your business, you don't have the money to pay back because they come in and they rob the farm. And sometimes the very workers, they will do things, and then the farm runs down, it's not progressive, not bringing forth any money to repay the loan. Maybe you would have used some collateral to get the loan, and you lost everything. So the bank wants its money, you don't have the money to pay, so you lose a property. And that's one of the reasons why I think most persons doesn't want to go into farming anymore, even though they like it, because it's a very nice career. Especially if you grew up on the farm, you know how it is done. And if you grew up on a farm, having that farm life experience, and you chose to go and study a little further at university to get more in-depth knowledge of managing a farm and studying about the soil types, and what you need to plant with on certain soil in order for you to reap and increase. When you're ready to start the business, you have some, as I said, dishonest persons. You have dishonest persons. But what are we to do if we are going to watch dishonest persons? We will not start. And sometimes the market is there. But what I like when there's market to buy the products from the farmers and export. Because when you export it, the country earns the foreign exchange, and you, the farmer, will get more to support, because you're going to expanding the farm so you can have more money coming into the business. But some people don't see it like that. They just see it as fun and eat and have friends come in and just eat out the things and pick up the things and you understand? You have to do it as a business. For it to be ongoing, it has to be done as a business. Has to be done as a business. Farming is big business. You have to know how to go at it, how to keep it going so that you can reap benefits and profits from it. If you are not able to reap benefits and profits from it, you are not going to gain anything. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Right? So we still have a little more time. A few minutes more. And we see how best we can. So let me give you a joke now about growing up in the, but you would not have, farming is not really done in the town areas, because in the town areas, you would not have much space, right? There's not much space in the town areas, so farming is mainly done in the rural areas. We have wider land space, better water supply. Maybe there are rivers nearby, because when you have a farm, and you have a river nearby, that's wonderful. So you can set up a generator to take the water from the river to water the plants, especially when there's a drought. Especially when there's a drought. So you can set up that. But when you don't have a river flowing through the farm or nearby, you have to buy the water. And then that's a lot of money you have to spend now to buy that fresh water, which probably will be chlorinated, to use. Plants doesn't want chlorinated water. The plants want water like the rainwater, or the river water. You would not use the seawater to water the plants, right? Because the seawater has salt in it, and the river water is more fresh, right? Yeah, I encourage persons to go into the business of farming, especially when they have the experience. When they have, we say, first-hand or practical experience. It is nice when a person have a breadfruit tree in their yard, and persons want a breadfruit from the tree, and you have a long stick, or you have somebody who can climb the tree very well, because sometimes up in the top of the tree, you always have some breadfruit that goes out and some limbs where nobody can go. So somebody has to climb the tree to a level and then pick with the stick, right? So that's how you get some fruits. And you have some fruits like star apple. They don't fall to the ground unless it is dry and the breeze blow off the dry thing off the tree. Somebody has to go there and pick it. So when somebody say you're mean like star apple, it's really bad because they don't fall from the tree. Other fruits will ripe and fall, but not the star apple. The star apple stays on the tree until it get dry. It doesn't fall off. So unless somebody go climb in the tree and pick it, you won't get that star apple to eat. And star apples have water in it, and it's very fruity, very tasty. But someone has to climb the tree to get it down. And we have something that's called guinea, which is more similar to lychee that I've seen here. Guys, there are a lot of fruits, There are a lot of fruits, but not all fruits can be grown in the same location. Some fruits and vegetables too, they have to be under covering. Whether it be rain, snow, or sunshine, they can't take too much. Back in Jamaica, it's either rain or sunshine. Because the wind, depending on what, sometimes the wind will blow the fruit from the trees, especially mangoes. And it can blow down the plant like banana trees and plantain trees. It can blow it off, blow down the entire tree to the ground, and then now the crop would have been affected. So you have to pay attention to the type of weather that comes at a certain time of the year. So when we have the hurricane season, as I remember that, Banana and plantains suffer. And sugarcane don't really suffer because it will blow over and twist, and whatever part of the sugarcane joint that touches the soil, it will still grow from there. So hurricane and sugarcane is fine, but banana and plantain trees, they suffer. And breadfruit trees, the breadfruit tree will blow, flash off the breadfruit of the tree, right? And other fruits like mangoes, it will flash, the breeze will flag them really hard and they fall off. And the banana and the plantain trees now, the entire tree will fall down, whether the fruit on it is ready to be reaped or not. It just fall down, and it may just get damaged, break up, and once it falls and it's not fit, it sort of chill the plant. It chills it so it doesn't really reach the perfection that you would want it to. You lose from it, right? So we have to be thankful for having persons who have farm interests, because if somebody does have farm interests, it means that we will eat. Not everybody have farm interests, because some has to buy and some has to plant. But I believe living here in America is different because there are more apartment buildings, less land space to plant anything. So somebody was telling me that it's even in a flower pot, she put something. But when I look at having a big space to plant some things compared to putting a few potted plants now with pepper tree, and somebody was telling me how they were so excited to have potted plants with corn and pepper trees in their basement. And they are so excited because they reap peppers and could store peppers and give away peppers. And for 2 years, they didn't have to buy any pepper. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's wonderful, guys. I think that is wonderful. So we have to realize that we have to encourage persons to farm, because thank you for joining the live, although you keep going and coming. I'm still happy you're here. I'm not alone, because I know persons go back, and I know with this live, a lot of persons are going to go back and listen to it and watch it rather, because it is practical. It's practical. It is practical. And you know who always come and reap some things before you? The birds. The birds, they normally like to go and reap the fruit. So that is why some people prefer to cover those fruit trees. But in Jamaica, we have some fruit trees that grows really, really tall, like the mango tree and the guava tree and the jackfruit tree. We have some trees that grow really tall, so we can't really cover them. They have to be out there in the sunlight. But trees like cherry trees and grape trees and those things, and I realize they try to keep them in shelters, because the snow, yes, will affect them. And when they do get rain, and the rain they get sometimes, the rain that we get back home, sometimes they don't get this. It all depends on when they get their rain, because sometimes I see the rain here very light, but however, when it's in the hurricane period, I know rainfall can be very intense. Very, very intense. So my last story is going to the farm and want to pick some ripe mangoes. And don't laugh at me, guys, when you're watching this video. And because there were so many nice mangoes on a particular limb hanging a little out to the back, I decided to go there and use a stick to pick the mango. To my surprise, guys, there was a wasp nest. Wasp right close behind a limb on the tree, which I didn't notice. And the thing, when I picked the mango, apparently it stick onto the nest, but I was focused on the mango, I didn't know about the wasp. And I ran to pick up the mango. The mangoes were more than one. Only to find myself being stung by a couple of the wasps. I can't tell you how much I threw away the mango and vex and run. Not even remember that I should take some soil and rub the spot. The wasp stung me so It was so painful. It was so hurtful. I didn't bother to eat the mango. I didn't bother. I didn't bother. Right? And I remember when my father, we usually have cane too. When he cuts, get people to cut the cane and tie them into bundles and put them out at a part wherein the truck can get the cane. I want the cane to eat that they just tied. And when I pull the cane, the bundle loose, and then I got some flogging because I say I must tie back the same bundle. And I couldn't tie back the bundle. I don't know how to tie a cane using a cane band to tie the bundle. And I got some good strapping, right? So I learned to be obedient and not disobedient because everything on a farm comes at a cost. So while I was there, no, he had to pay somebody to tie the cane, and I went back and pulled a cane from the same bundle that he said I shouldn't pull from. And then the person who tied it, no, if that person tied it again, he will have to pay the person again to tie that cane. So he himself had to tie it. I get some good flogging. But that didn't stop me from being on a farm because there's no time for you to feel hungry when your parents have a farm. There's no way you can be hungry. You have the water coconut, mango tree, breadfruit tree, sugar cane, orange tree, grapefruit, cocoa, plum. You have so much things. You have so much things that you have to share. You have to share with your friends, share with your neighbors. And when he goes to see, people at the seaside, some buying, but he never sell them exact. So if they buy £2, you give them a few on it, you call it brata. You know, a few on it to make up the weight, to encourage them to come back and buy some more from him. Right? So that's why I say no man is an island. And I would love to see my country export more goods. Because we have the space there. We have the beautiful sunshine and the beautiful rain. And we have the land space. But I think persons have to be more dedicated towards getting into farm business, and that pre-larceny will not be so rampant because that is one aspect of what is destroying, especially small farmers. Pre-larceny. So I'm just hoping that persons will just learn to do their best, learn to understand that they can earn a living from farm life, right? They can earn a living. Farming is important. No one can survive without food. Going into the stores to buy I don't want to call them junk, the ready-made things. If you're able to get the real natural things into your system, wouldn't that be better? Yeah, it would have been better. But everybody cannot go into farming because of location where they're at and the type of produce that can be grown at certain location, and they have to plant the things that people want. So in Jamaica, yam, banana, breadfruit, mango, pumpkin, sweet pepper, carrot, cabbage, those things are what the people use a lot. But here in America, they are not familiar with that type of food. They are more here with simpler types, right? Like the cornflakes and the jerk, the different things that they have in their diets, right? And they have ready-made things here more than us. Granted, it is good at times you can go to the store and get some ready-made thing because sometimes you don't have the time to prepare the thing really from scratch. I don't want to sound as if I'm being double standard, but preparing from scratch, right? Because can you imagine you come home late from work and you want to do a quick dinner and you have rice and other things. It's easy to cook a pot of rice with maybe a tin of corned beef or with some steamed vegetables, to go with it. But if you're going to put on a pot to cook breadfruit and yam and banana, you're going to have to stand there to peel all those things, and all those produce takes long. Let me say it categorically, they take a longer time to cook. It takes a longer time. It may be more nourishing, but it takes a longer time. Right? Takes a longer time. So sometimes we look at it to say the cost benefit of it, the time factor, because you're coming home from work in Jamaica. You're late, but you may not want to cook rice. You may just cook maybe some green bananas and some sweet potatoes. But so another person who is coming from work doesn't have the time to peel those things to put in the pot. They will just go to the pipe and wash the rice and put it in the pot. Open the corned beef, fix it up with some things and fix it up, and that's it. So in a few minutes, it's ready. Whereas the man that cooks stand in the kitchen to peel the food and cook it and maybe steam some vegetable will take a longer time. So depending on the time that you have on hand when you choose to prepare some meals. But overall, I think we should focus more on thinking ways how we can encourage persons to go into farm life. And like I said, it doesn't have to be food that you eat. It may be you may be in an area where it's only flowers. And maybe flowers where you are at can, like Crystal said, where you're at, flowers can do good business. But maybe where I'm from, flowers would not do good business there. They are more into the food, the yam and the banana and the breadfruit and the cocoa and the dasheen, right? They are into that and the sugar cane and all of them things there. You pick the breadfruit, you peel it and you boil it, or you pick the breadfruit, you roast it on the fire, which takes a little time as well. So that's what I'm saying now, that we have to we have to focus and gear our minds towards persons who are showing interest in farm life. Growing up on a farm, in most cases, some persons when they are older, they still have it in them. They may not go large scale as to selling to the public, but they normally try to have their little gardens at home. Because if they have the land space, they like to reap from the little garden and share with their neighbor. So they cut a nice 10 hand planting, they will give a hand or a few fingers to their neighbors and say, this is from my farm. And they like, we persons like to share their produce, because the more you share, it's the more you leave space for more room for more growth. hmm There's room for more growth. Well, I must say that I, I chose to discuss one of my favorite topics, farm life, and I'm happy that the response was good. And I hope that person will still go back and look at this video, this live rather, and appreciate and like it and develop an interest in farm life too. Because, as like I said, if when you're living in an apartment building, it's difficult. It's really difficult. But if you're living at a place where you have space, you will be better able to set up your containers and do container gardening. You don't have to have it large, but once you have, if you don't have the space, it won't be possible. Like where I'm living now, I don't have the space. I can only dream about it. Where I'm from, I had space. And I usually have I have my breadfruit tree, ackee tree, plantain, banana, you name it. I try to have uh, all different types of trees, fruit, you know, because I like when I'm reaping from what I plant. I enjoy it more. I really, really enjoy it more. Right? So, guys, this is where we come to an end. This evening, I came on this morning about somewhere about 11. Spend some time with you. I'm hoping tomorrow I will. I'm just hoping, and I think I will try come on about 11 and do some time with you as well. And I'm looking forward for you all rather, to have a rewarding evening and share some knowledge with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. And like I always say, tell a friend to tell a friend about Auntie D's TV, because here is where we share and we learn. And I'm so happy that one of my subscribers told me so much about being taught to do farming with her roommates in Calgary. right? It makes my evening, and it makes me feel good that I had chosen a topic that those persons like. So let me wish for you a pleasant evening and see you guys another time when I have my live. I'm hoping to be on tomorrow at 11, right? So see you guys in the next live or in the next video. Remember to put your notification on all so that when I live is to go on or I put out a video, you would hear that ping and know that that ping is Auntie D's ping. See you around. Have a great evening. Bye bye.